God bless you on this day, knowing the night is far spent, day is at hand. Now is he closer today than he was yesterday. Tonight he'll be even closer, the next day even closer. And the whole point is that how close are you to him? Because the more you draw closer to him, the more you're going to see what you need to do towards your life and him helping you get where you're going to get to. We talked about the flesh and how the Jesus mama and his brothers and his sisters had a problem with what he was doing. He denied them. In John and Matthew the 12th chapter, about the 46th verse, he denied them and stretched forth his hand towards the disciples and said, behold my mother and my brothers. Whoever do the will of my Father in heaven, these are my mother and brother. And the same thing with you. Don't let nobody deceive you. People that do right belong to God. Those that do not do right do not belong to God. But you can easily see who belong to God. The Bible says, look at Matthew 12 and 37. The Bible says that they that do righteous is righteous. Read for me.
Matthew 12 and 37.
Read it.
For by thy word thou shalt be justified.
What now?
Thou shalt be justified.
Read it.
And by thy word thou shalt be condemned.
In other words, what are people saying out of their mouth? Are they saying something holy and good and righteous? But are they cursing and acting a fool? You easily can see who know and who going and what they're doing by what their mouths say. Go back to Matthew 12 and 33 for me real quick. And let's read that.
Verse 33.
Read it.
Either make the tree good and its fruit good.
There's nowhere in the world a good tree is supposed to bring forth bad fruit unless something is wrong. And a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. Go ahead, son.
Or else make the tree corrupt.
Read.
And its fruit corrupt.
In other words, make it black or make it white. Make it black or make it white. Read for me, son.
For the tree is known by its fruit.
Somebody asked me, said, how you know people belong to God? Watch what come out of their mouth. Watch what they say. Watch their acts. The Bible said that they confess to know God, but they're disobedient to God in every works that they do. Go ahead, son.
Verse 34.
Read it.
O generation of vipers.
Read it.
How can ye be in evil? Speak good things.
Read from us, son.
For out of the abundance of the heart.
Read it.
The mouth speaketh.
Hold it. An evil person. Well, what's in? Let me say this here first. Give me real quick. Hold where you at. Give me Ephesians right quick. Ephesians, the 4th chapter, or the 5th chapter, begin about the 7th, 8th verse. You see, sometimes we did bring forth stuff that looked like it was kind of good, but inside we was rotten to the core. Read it for me.
Ephesians 5 and 7.
Read it.
Be not ye therefore partakers with them.
Read it.
For ye were sometimes darkness.
What now?
Ye were sometimes darkness.
That sometime means that sometime you did a little light. But you were still the devil. You follow me? You were still the devil. Go ahead, son.
But now are ye light in the Lord.
But now you're light. I mean, everybody did something that looked like it was good, but in reality, on the inside, go back where I was in Matthew. Read for me.
Matthew 12 and 34.
Read it.
O generation of vipers.
Read it.
How can ye be in evil? Speak good things. For out of the abundance of the heart.
Read.
The mouth speaketh. A good man. Out of the good treasure of the heart.
Read.
Bringeth forth good things. And an evil man.
What now?
An evil man.
Read, son.
Out of the evil treasure.
Read.
Bringeth forth evil things.
Hold it. See, even when we did something good, it was to be seen, making it still wrong. It wasn't nothing towards God. Even when you did something good for your own benefit, not for to help the people, but to hurt somebody in your own mind, be praise of people, not of God. You want your praise to be of God, not of people, because God's the only one that can score you the right score. What I mean by that, we're being scored every day. Whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever come out of your mouth is showing who you belong to. You see, some of y'all, watch this here. Malachi 3 real quick at 18. Some folk cannot discern right from wrong. They don't understand how to judge things. You know what people do by their fruit. Go ahead, overseer.
Malachi 3:18.
Go ahead.
Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked.
Go ahead.
Between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not.
In other words, you're going to be able to know who serve God, who don't serve God. You avoid the ones that do not serve God. If they're trying to pull you into a web of deceit, of lies and backbiting. You don't need that. You need for God to keep you blessed. Remember now, people that are going to heaven, you know them. Those that are not going to heaven, you know them also. Watch this. Look at Matthew 7 right quick, and 13 and 14 verse. And also, I want Matthew 13 and 15. Read it for me.
Matthew 7 and 13.
Read it.
Enter ye in at the straight gate.
Do what now?
Enter ye in at the straight gate.
Look at the word straight. Straight. Watch this here. Give me Malachi 3 and 11 right quick. Look at the word straight. And when you say straight, it means straight to heaven. Read for me.
Malachi 3 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
And I will rebuke the devourer for your sake.
Do what now?
And I will rebuke the devourer for your sake.
That means that when you're going straight, nothing can devour anything that belongs to you. It can't take it. It can't crook it no kind of way. You see, who is he that would harm you if you don't know which is good? You read through 1 Peter 3 and about 13. Nobody can harm you when you're doing what's right. He's going to rebuke the devourer, that your fruit don't fall on the ground for full time, that things don't come up on you that you're unaware of. Go ahead, son.
And I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground.
In other words, your fruits that come up on the ground is going to be perfect fruit. We need perfect fruit. We don't need things that really bother us, or things that, see, when you're in your flesh, everything can bother you. We gave Galatians 5 and 19 a while ago. Look real quick at Romans real quick, the 12th chapter, and begin to read the 9th and 10th verse from it real quick. And also look at the 13th chapter of look at the 13th chapter of Romans and the 9th verse. Read from it.
Romans 12 and 9.
Go ahead.
Let love be without dissimulation.
Do what now?
Let love be without dissimulation.
Go ahead, son.
Abhor that which is evil, and cleave to that which is good.
Get away from the evil. Cleave to that which is good. Let people know, wait a minute. If you're going to come in my house, don't bring your junk in my house. Don't bring alcohol. Don't bring drugs in my house. I want my house to be sanctified and holy. Now, listen, some of you done married the devil. And when I say certain things, I say with an open mind and open heart. If you marry somebody, you're supposed to be saved. Marry an unsaved person. You cannot keep the devil out of your house, because he got just as right in the house as you do. Because your dad is in there, belong to God, his dad is there too. So in doing so, it's going to be hard to keep the devil out of your house. You married the wrong person. Read for me.
Romans 13 and 9.
Go ahead.
For this, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Do what now?
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
See, these things are fleshly sins. Adultery, fornication. Go ahead, son.
Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not bear false witness.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not covet. And if it be any other commandment.
Do what now?
If it be any other commandment.
Now it covers everything. Any other commandment that's contrary to sound doctrine, read from it.
It is briefly comprehended in this saying.
Read it.
Namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor.
Do what now?
Thou shalt love thy neighbor.
Read.
As thyself.
Hold it. Love your neighbor like you love you. You don't want to hurt you, do you? You don't want to crunch no alcohol down you if you belong to God. In other words, watch it here. Other than that, 1 Timothy, right quick, the 1st chapter, and begin to read about the 5th verse. You see, when you look at what God is doing, he's making his jewels up. He's getting everybody that belong to him to see and understand and judge right from wrong, and from those who serve him and don't serve him. Read from it.
1 Timothy 1:5.
Read it.
Now the end of the commandment is charity.
Read it.
Out of a pure heart.
Now charity, that is love in action. Let me say it again. Charity is love in action. Y'all follow me? So then you can say you got love, but if no action behind it, that's not love. When you read 1 John, the 3rd chapter, let's read it. 1 John, the 2nd chapter, and let's begin to read about the 15th verse. See, remember now, when you really love somebody, when you give it to them, it makes you feel good on the inside. And then you don't get upset about that. Read it for me.
1 John 2:15.
Go ahead. Love not the world, nor the things in the world. Read. Go ahead, son.
Love not the world.
Read it.
Neither the things that are in the world.
Read it.
If any man love the world,
read it.
The love of the Father is not in him.
Read it.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the
lust
flesh.
Of the, what now?
The lust of the flesh.
Lust of the flesh. The flesh lusts after a lot of stuff. But watch this here now. But you really think your spirit want it, but your spirit don't want it. It's the flesh. Go ahead, son.
And the lust of the eye.
Read it.
And the pride of life.
Read it.
It's not of the Father.
Read.
But it's of the world.
Read it.
And the world passes away.
What now?
The world passes away.
Go ahead.
And the lust thereof.
Go ahead.
But he that doeth the will of God.
Read.
Abideth forever.
Hold it. The lust, the flesh, the lies, the backbiting, all gonna pass away. You do the will of God, though. Do the will of the Father, though. And then you abide. I tell you what. Give me the 1 John right quick, the 3rd chapter, and jump to about the 16th verse from it real quick. You see, when you understand what God is doing, He's showing people what to do. Read from it.
1 John 3:16.
Go ahead.
Hereby perceive we the love of God.
Read.
Because he laid down his life for us.
He did what now?
He laid down his life for us.
Read it.
And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
Read it.
For whoso have this world's good.
Whoever got this world's good. You got all this stuff, but you don't help nobody. It don't bother you. When Romans 2:14 and 15 said the unsaved folks, the Gentiles, were to have not the law or law themselves. In the meanwhile, their conscience excusing them or accusing them. If you really belong to God and something happened that's wrong you shouldn't do, your conscience supposed to accuse you. But it don't accuse, it excuses you. You can see people in a need and will not do it because something's in you that shouldn't be there. It's called the flesh. Read from it.
For whoso have this world's good, and see if his brother have need.
Who have this world's good. Go ahead, son.
And see if his brother have need.
Read.
And shut up his bowels of compassion.
Read that.
From him. How dwelleth the love of God in him?
In other words, the love of God cannot be in you. You see people suffering, going through, and you got something, give it to him. Give it to him. That's what's going to make God bless you even more and more. Somebody told me, said, people ought to get it for themselves. Somebody gave it to you. Somebody, God had to bless you. Bless somebody else. Don't get in your own little world and forget about who God is. Watch this here now. Watch here now. When you read the scripture, and I tell people all the time, fleshly people don't see what spiritual people see. They don't understand that Romans, the 1st chapter, and Jude and 2 Peter was all once saved people. And they did something. They got in their flesh. When you get in your flesh, you're headed for a fall. Trust me. You got to walk in the spirit and not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Because the flesh means you no good. Watch this here. Romans, real quick, the 1st chapter, again, the 18th verse from real quick. Also, I want Jude right quick, The book of Jude, Jude 20, Jude, the first chapter. Go ahead.
Romans 1:18.
Read it.
For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness.
Read that.
And unrighteousness of men.
Now watch this now. Go ahead, son.
Who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
Oh, my God. To know the truth and hold the truth and do wrong, I fear for you. Remember now, Romans is people that was once saved and disobeyed God. Read from it.
Verse 19. Because that which may be known of God is manifest in them.
In other words, it's in you. Even to unsaved folk, that what would be known of God is in you now. See, the invisible things made the visible thing. Read for me, son.
For God hath showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him.
Read.
From the creation of the world.
Read that.
Are clearly seen.
What now?
Are clearly seen.
How? Read from it.
Being understood by the things that are made.
Hold it. The invisible things made the visible thing. Read from it.
By the things that are made.
Read it.
Even his eternal power.
Go ahead, son.
And Godhead.
Read it.
So that they are without excuse.
I don't care who you are. You cannot escape God's wrath if you do wrong. But I got a better way for you. Do what's right towards God. And watch how God bless you. Keep reading for me, son.
Because that when they knew God.
What now?
Because that when they knew God.
Hold it. When they knew God. Showing they already knew God and went back on him. How many of you know God and doing wrong now? That's talking to you that know him, that know what God's wrath is. Go ahead, son.
They glorified him not as God.
They didn't give God the credit. They didn't recognize what God was doing. Read from it.
Neither were thankful.
Go ahead. Hold on. Wait a minute. Thankful. Oh, my God. Tell somebody I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Thank God what he blessed me with.
Yes.
They were even thankful. Go ahead, son.
But became vain in their imagination.
They thought they were doing it. They thought that God couldn't see what they were doing. They thought because they got something, but they forgot where they came from and how they got it. They thought people around them wasn't like them no more. In other words, they don't want to mess with people no more. But watch this here now. You stay in the little cedar house, the Bible said now. You stay in this and stay in that. But remember where you came from. The same God that brought you, I can take you back in there just like that. When you see people going through something, don't get halted, high-minded. Fear. Because God brought you out. He's the only one who can bring us out. Don't get to a place where you think you're all that. You don't want folks around your house. Them people. No, them people was once us. And it makes a difference. The heart has got to be right with God. Read from it.
And their foolish heart was darkened.
Hold it now. They didn't want to glorify God. They didn't want to bless somebody else. So God, not the devil, God put darkness on their heart. In other words, I tell all of you, if the soul do not stay under the Spirit of God, the soul becomes darkened. The soul goes into darkness. The Spirit of God has got to control our souls. If it doesn't, every soul that God don't control becomes dark. Read from it.
Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
Oh, you think you wise. Oh, I got this, I got that. Who cares what you got? One thing about it, ask the pharaohs that's dead. They took nothing with them. The Bible said when a man dies, he takes nothing with him. Nothing. Hold wait yet. I got to hurry real quick. Hold wait. Get me real quick. Get me Psalm 49 for me real quick. You see, when you die, you take nothing with you. Read it. Psalm 40. Let's read the whole thing. 49 and 1 for me real quick. Psalm. What do it say?
Psalms 49 and 1.
Read it.
Hear this, all ye people.
Do what now?
All ye people.
That's talking to everybody, including me. Read from it.
Give ear,
Read.
All ye inhabitants of the world.
Read it.
Both low and high. Rich and poor together.
Read, son.
My mouth.
Read.
Shall speak of wisdom.
Read.
And the meditation of my heart.
Read.
Shall be of understanding. I will incline my ear to a parable.
Read it.
I will open my dark saying.
What now?
I will open my dark saying.
I will open my dark saying. Read from it.
Upon the heart.
Go ahead.
Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil?
Read.
When the iniquity of my heel shall compass me about.
In other words, wherefore should I wait on the iniquity of my heel when the days of darkness come? Read from it.
Verse 6.
Read.
They that trust in their wealth.
What now?
They that trust in their wealth. And boast themselves in the multitude of their riches.
Read.
None of them can by any means redeem his brother.
Oh my God. Your wealth, your money, your houses, your cars cannot redeem your brother or redeem you. Read from it.
Now give to God a ransom for him.
Read it. The only ransom for God to God is Jesus Christ. Hold it just a minute now. The only ransom is Jesus Christ. Your houses, your cars, your money, your land would not stop God for taking your soul. Read from it.
Verse 8.
Read it.
For the redemption of their soul is precious.
Read it.
And it cease forever.
Read it.
That he should still live forever and not see corruption.
Hold it. Hold it. Your soul are supposed to live forever and not see corruption. This is told us going to heaven. Hold it. Hold it yet. Now get me 1 Peter 4 real quick. And the first verse, 1 Peter 4:1. I'm trying to hurry real quick. I'm dealing with the flesh and the spirit real quick. I want to show you. Remember now this said that your soul live forever. Go ahead, son.
1 Peter 4:1.
Go ahead.
For as much then as Christ hath suffered for us in the flesh.
Go ahead, son.
Arm yourselves.
Read.
Likewise with the same mind.
Go ahead.
For he had suffered in the flesh.
What now?
For he that hath suffered in the flesh.
Read.
Have ceased from
Hold
sin.
it. Sometimes before you get to completed the level, you're abstaining. So you might want to take that drink out of that alcohol bottle. You might want to smoke that cigarette or do something wrong. Suffer. I'm not going to do it. Let the flesh suffer. Let it suffer. I'm just not going to do this. I ain't going to come back with no curse word on this man or this woman because my spirit is telling me now, if I hold on and do what's right after a while, I will have no problem. Get rid of this stuff. Read from it.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh.
What now?
That he no longer should live the rest of this time in the flesh.
Read.
To the lust of men, but to the will of God.
Read it.
For the time past of our life may suffice us.
Read it.
To have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
In other words, we were in the flesh in the time past of our life. But now we know God. Read from it, son.
When we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable adultery, wherein they think it strange.
What now?
Wherein they think it strange that you run not with them.
You know, it's kind of not funny, but it's kind of mysterious how that people used to know you. And how you used to drink that old wine, some of y'all that smoked the herbs and going on, get hungry, eat up all the Fritos and everything. But now, they see you now. They're saying that, don't you still drink? You said, nope. And they begin to think it's strange. And they start talking about you. He thinks he's something. No. I found my life when I found Christ. You don't find life till you find Christ. Though Christ is not lost, he's not hidden. Christ has always been around. Read from it, son.
Speaking evil of you.
Do what now?
Speaking evil of you.
Read it.
Who shall give an account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead.
In other words, he going to judge the quick and the dead. Quick means those that's alive that belong to God, and dead means those that dead that's it. Go ahead, son.
For this cause was the gospel preached also to them.
Watch this now. Go ahead, son.
That are dead.
Read it.
That they might be judged according to men in the flesh.
Go ahead, son.
But live according to God in the spirit.
Hold it. You know what this Bible is saying? You will be judged according to man in the flesh, but you'll never, ever die. You're going to live according to God in the spirit. Read again from it, son.
For this cause was the gospel preached unto them.
Read.
That are dead.
Read.
That they might be judged according to men in the flesh.
Go ahead.
But live according to God in the Spirit.
You will never die. Never die. A while ago it said that I give account for our souls, and Psalm 40 is saying now those that go into hell will never, ever, ever stop burning. You're going to live according to God in the Spirit, so that you cannot die in hell. Go back to Psalm 49 for me real quick. Let's read it. Read it.
Verse 9, that he should live forever and not see corruption.
Go ahead.
For he seeth that wise men die.
What now?
That wise men die.
I don't care how smart you are or how much education you got. When you die and go the wrong way, you die like a fool. Go ahead, son.
Likewise, the fool and the brutish person.
Go ahead.
Perish.
Go ahead.
And leave their wealth to others.
Go ahead.
The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
In other words, man don't want to think about the day of death. But trust me, the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 8 and 5, a wise man discerns both time and judgment. There's a time for judgment. Read for me, son.
The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Your house will not continue. Trees live longer than we do. Houses live longer than we do. We are people that die 70, 80, 90 years, but trust me, you will die except you belong to Christ. You read John 5 and 24. If a man keep my saying, he never see death. He's passed from death unto life. Saved folks don't die, they pass. Unsaved folks die. Read from his son.
In their dwelling place.
Read.
To all generations.
Read it.
They call their lands after their own names.
Jefferson's temple. Mabel's bread house. Read from it.
Verse 12.
Read it.
Neither man being in honor.
What now?
Neither man being in honor.
Read again.
Nevertheless, man being in honor.
Good. It sounds better. Read.
Abideth not.
In other words, okay, however you are, you will not abide. You can't break Hebrews 9 and 26. It's appointed once on the man to die. Read from it.
But he is like the beast that perish.
Read.
This their ways is their folly.
Read it.
Yet their posterity approve their saying.
Read.
Selah.
Read.
Like sheep.
What now?
Like sheep.
Read.
They are laid in the grave. Death shall feed on them.
Read, son.
And the upright shall have dominion over them.
Read.
In the morning.
Read, son.
And their beauty
shall
consume in the grave.
Go ahead, son.
From their dwelling.
Read it.
But God will redeem my soul.
Do what now?
He will redeem my soul.
You tell somebody I'm going to live right so God can redeem my soul. That my soul will not lay in hell. Read from it.
But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave.
Read.
For he shall receive me.
Read.
Selah.
Read.
Be not thou afraid.
What now?
Be not thou afraid.
I don't care who got what. How much land they got, how much money they done won the lottery, $62 billion. It means nothing. Read from it, son.
Be not thou afraid.
Read.
When one is made rich.
Read.
When the glory of his house is increased.
Read.
For when he dies,
he
shall carry nothing away.
What now?
He shall carry nothing away.
Read it.
His glory shall not descend after him.
Your money, your nut would not come after you, Pharaoh. Read from it.
Though while he lived,
he
blessed his soul.
Oh, you bless his soul and men honor you. Read from it.
And men will praise thee.
Read it.
When thou doest well to thyself.
Read.
He shall go to the generation.
What now?
He shall go to the generation.
Read.
Of his father.
Read.
They shall never see light.
Hold it. You going in the pitch black darkness. You'll never see light again. Think about how long eternity is. How long hell is. If a bird could come to the earth from heaven, take one grain of sand, carry it back to heaven, when all the earth's sand is gone, it won't be beginning yet. That's how long it is. Infinity. You'll never see light. But I trust God. You've heard me today. You made your mind up. You're going to start to turn your life around with the help of the Lord. That it won't happen to you. You're going to put everything down that don't belong to God so God can bless you. And I know that God's going to bless you because you heard what was said today. And it touched your spirit and your soul, not your flesh. The flesh had nothing to do with this here. It touched your soul and your spirit. And your mind is made up. You're going to serve the Lord. We got to get out of here, but we love coming into your house or wherever you are. We love to do this here. We just love to show you what God is doing in this time and what God is going to do in the future. And I see a good future for you. I believe God. God bless you. God keep it the next time. Bye-bye.